We're recording this podcast at Half Coast Studios, the #1 podcast and recording studio in St. Louis. If you have a podcast or want to start a podcast, Google Half Coast Studios to get started. Welcome back. You are now listening to the STL Bucket List show with your host, Lucas Farrell.
And I am the co-host, Marissa Thomas.
We are back with our first guest, Brock Seals. We're thankful to have you, man. We were looking around. We wanted to have a badass first guest, man, and here you are. So.
I'm honored, bro. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me, man. You know, it's all love.
Yeah, man. So tell me a little bit about where you're from. Tell me about kind of you growing up and how you got to where you are.
Well, from St. Louis, of course. I grew up in Jennings. So I went to like elementary school there, middle school, on up to high school. So just growing up there and being in that district, it taught me a lot about myself. You know, I got a lot of different experiences. So it was cool. It's a real unique place, you know what I'm saying, from the people there. I got a lot of musical like influences from there. Like growing up, a lot of the big homies used to rap, stuff like that. So I would see them doing their thing and just kind of repping where they were from. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of Jennings pride. So of course that just like went on to me. And then like my big brother, he used to he's years older than me, but he played football for Jennings. So he had like a name, and it kind of, you know what I'm saying, came down to me when I was like,
right.
You know what I'm saying, getting in school and stuff like that. But I had just made my own name for myself because I wasn't a football player. I wasn't the sports. I mean, I did a little basketball, but, you know, I realized early that I wasn't going to do the NBA. So
that's not where I was going.
Yeah, it wasn't going to go there. So I said, you know, I got into art, got into music with some of my homies, and, you know, the rest, we just kept going, never stopped.
Yeah. Never stop.
Yeah.
So we have artists, right? And artists, people who bring images to life. It's something that they're passionate about. They put that, you know, they put their passion into the world from their talent. And we
Facts.
have activists, and these are people who want to promote change in the world.
Facts.
Now you combine the two, and you call yourself an artivist, right?
Correct.
So tell us what that means to you.
An artivist, like you say, activist is someone who wants to bring about change. So I felt the best way for me to bring about the change that I wanted to see was to do it through my artwork. You know, I seen, you know, how some artists, how some activists, you know, just go about doing their thing. I seen how some artists, well, not artists, kind of get a little tricky.
It's a new word.
I'm
Make
learning
it up.
myself. But yeah, just all in all, it's a way that I use my art to promote change. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel most comfortable doing it. You know, it's through my artwork, whether it's through a song or whether it's through some music or artwork, you know.
Right.
That's how
Just
I'm
physical expression.
Yeah,
so
yeah, facts.
To touch on that, I mean, and this is like a huge question that's kind of loaded, but what do you want to change about the city, and how are you going to use art and music, or just art, or a combination of both to do that? I mean, you already have, but just kind of tell me what like your plans and goals are with that.
I want to make people more aware of what's going on, like give them an insight. Because a lot of the confusion is because people don't understand. So when people don't understand something, they react out of emotion or they try to ignore it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to put forth, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in their face. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you try to say something to people verbally, they kind of just like turn away, or people can walk away. But if it's painted on the side of a building, or if it's painted on, you know what I'm saying, some shoes or something, like in real life, you're going to have to see it. You know what I'm saying? You can try to turn your head, but you're going to see it. So that's my goal, is just to make people more aware. Now, there's so many layers of what they can be aware of, but, you know, that's a whole nother.
That's what my next question was going to be.
Yeah.
Is like, is there something specific that like you're passionate about that you want to change, or just anything?
What I want to change specifically? Man.
And I know there's a lot.
That's a long list.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah. I'm going to have to come back to that one.
Okay, that's
I'm
right.
going to get something for that, but
right.
yeah, for now.
Yeah.
So with every artist, everybody has a support system, you know, and like you mentioned your brother, you mentioned growing up in Jennings. What does your support system look like, and what ways have they benefited you in your journey?
Man, my family, my mom, my dad, my uncles, aunts, my homies, you know what I'm saying, my girl. Like, fortunately, it's the people that's around me are supporting me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first started doing the art and stuff like that, you know, it was really like my homies who kind of understood it, because we was all young, and, you got that gap between young and then the old heads. Like, they don't really understand what you're doing. They see you painting and making music. They like, nah, you need to do something more practical. Get a real job.
Just a hobby.
Yeah, that's just a hobby.
Right.
But my homies was always there pushing me. They always was like, yeah, you got it, we got it. So we gonna make it happen. And that's what kept me just motivated throughout the whole, dark times where I wasn't getting no shine, where people didn't know my name. And from then, when it started to crack a little more, like people started to kind of recognize my artwork, or people will go up to my mom and be like, oh, you Seal's mom, stuff like that. Or my brother see somebody out in the club rocking some shirts that we used to design back in the day. He's like, man, I seen somebody with your shirt.
Right.
That's when it started getting real.
Yeah.
That's when they like, okay, maybe this ain't just no, little.
Something you're just doing.
Yeah, some bullshit.
You're really out here doing it.
You don't see how big your brand expands, and like 10,000 people, that's how many people follow you on Instagram. But you realize that 10,000 people fills up a whole stadium. Like, you don't realize that, you think 10,000 is not that much because there's an artist that has 100,000. But then when you look at it in a different scope, like 10,000 people, like I could fill up a whole stadium.
That's crazy.
Like a whole stadium of people that just follow you for your
like
work.
Yeah,
I've looked at it that way, man. I made a post about it, about when STL Bucket List. I was like, dude, like we could sell out. If every follower bought a ticket to an event, we could sell out all Busch Stadium.
Facts.
Speaking of Busch Stadium,
40,000.
my man's threw out the first pitch. Tell me about that, man. That's on my bucket list. I want to throw out the first pitch this year. I will throw out the first pitch this year.
Bro. Sooner than you think.
Tell me about that. How'd that come about? How'd that collab come with the Cardinals?
Oh, man, I just feel good on the inside when I just be hearing that. Like, so I did some cleats for Harrison Bader. Shouts out to bro. We did them, what year? I don't know what year. A couple years ago.
That's like 2 years ago.
I remember seeing that. Was the first time I seen you when you did those cleats for Bader. That's how I found you.
I do. I think it was like 2019.
Okay.
2020 maybe.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, something like that. Anyway, did the cleats for bro. He wore him in the game. And that was just huge within itself because we always want to get the product, seen on like a huge platform. So for it to be the Cardinals, for that to be the first MLB player that we worked with was huge. So he did that. Next thing I know, I don't know how later it was, maybe a year later. This whole time for me, bro, is like literally running together. So I get dates mixed up.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
But yeah, like a little bit after that, I got an email and they were saying like, hey, we seen your work on Harrison Bader. We got this African American Heritage Night coming up. Would you be interested in like designing the hat giveaway? I'm like, hell yeah.
Cute, of course.
Checking the email, make sure this ain't no spam. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to take a little minute before I replied just to like kind of take it in.
Yep.
But, in hindsight, this is stuff I've been working for. Like, this is why I go so hard. This is why I'm working every day diligently, like putting my all into this craft is because this type of stuff that I want to do. So, I had to remind myself, like, hey, this is what you asked for.
Right.
So when it's her, like, get ready. Yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. Like, start working on your pitch.
Right.
Because they might call you.
They're going to be calling you.
Yeah, they're going to call you.
And it's big, man. You speak it into the world. You speak it into existence, and the world's going to reward you, but you have to let it know. You have to let people know that you're ready.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes, whether it be like this, the first episode, you just have to tell the world you're ready, and you're ready.
You dive in.
Yeah. It's wild, but yeah, man, I'm speaking that into existence. Catch me in 2022 at the Cardinals. They're in a lockout right now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And we'll check with Harrison Bader. We'll get him on the podcast too.
All right. Bet.
So you have a solo exhibit that you said you just came from.
Came
tell
from
us
there.
about that because that started this month, right? Or January.
January, yeah.
And it goes till March, right?
March 20th.
So where is it? Tell us the details all about your.
Okay, so that exhibit is at Coca. Shouts out to Coca because they're a great organization. They give young artists a platform and they also teaching the arts, which is super important to the youth. So, being exposed to these type of things while you're young is so important. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that, okay, this is a possibility. This is a career path. Like I can make a living, off doing something, expressing myself.
That's excellent.
You know what I'm saying? So, I agreed to do this show, this solo exhibit. It's entitled The Artivist off of my last CD that I dropped. So, it's just like really insight into my work during that time when I was like discovering, who I was as an artivist, the things that I was doing in St. Louis, in the city, and it's just telling my whole story, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, it's pretty dope. I got artwork, I got music, I got clothing, so it's like a good range of Brock Seals.
All
like
your talents
you
in
get
one
all
space.
me in one space.
Very
so
cool.
I'm
And that's
super
just
excited.
a ticket. You just get a ticket, grab a ticket, go to
No
the website.
ticket needed.
No ticket needed. Just walk
Show
up.
up.
Show
I
up.
love
Pull
it.
up.
I
Yeah.
love it. That's
Anytime
excellent.
they open.
Yeah, because then now anyway, and like you said, like they work with young artists. So
Yeah.
you know, what advice would you give to aspiring artists, especially like the young kids who want
Yeah.
to be like you and they want to make change as well through their
Facts.
music or you know whatever it is? So what advice would you give?
Man, I would tell them, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Facts.
As cliche as that sounds, that's all it is to it. Like once you stop, that's when you gave up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I say try something different. You know, try not to just like do what you see. Do something different. Like go a different path. What else? What would I tell?
What would you tell your own self? Like if you
Yeah.
were
That's what I was
18 right now,
thinking.
if you were
Yeah.
18, how old are you real quick, if you don't mind me
28.
asking? 28.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, if I'm little Brock right now, what would you tell? What would you
Little
have
Brock,
changed?
little Brock.
What would you have
'Cause
changed?
You know,
Man.
you have all the
Yeah.
support
What
from
would you
your
have
friends,
changed? Because there's a
your
lot of things I
family.
would change about myself 10
I was
years ago.
different at 18.
Yeah.
We all right. It's,
I was
it's scary.
wilding
It's a
out.
scary thought.
We all were, man.
I was
You
wilding
think
out.
back to your 18-year-old self, you're like, ooh.
But I'm glad that I did what I did at 18.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
got it out the way.
Right.
But I would just tell my 18-year-old self, you know what I'm saying, like, just keep trusting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got this. Everything that you want to make happen will make happen. But just
Trust the process.
trust the process. Be patient.
Right.
I tell my 28-year-old self that right now, be patient. Because I be still like, you know what I'm saying, worrying myself sometime about why stuff not happening when I want it to happen. Like I realize it's not on my time. It's on God's time.
That's right.
So I just got to trust the process.
Trust the
Yeah.
process. And that's huge. And you spoke about, and I hear this in like the music world and stuff like that. Like I feel like you guys truly are like the most underappreciated, but also the most appreciated. There's the biggest gap between the people that are doing, there's no like in between. It's like you're either doing it and not getting the recognition you deserve, or you're doing it and you're getting crazy recognition. You're crazy famous, crazy rich. So like, tell me about being in that middle where you're like, want to make it full time because you need to be full time to produce the work that you want to do.
Yeah.
But like also still taking jobs to make money that you're not passionate about at the same time. Have you done that? Like, is that something that you've done?
That's
like,
something I've done in the past,
Yeah.
and I be regretting it.
Right.
Every second of it. If I got to take a job and it's like something that I don't want to do, I'm like, man, I hate this. Like, why am I doing this? Like, you know,
But it's the process. Trust
it's
the process.
it's the process, and you got to treat it as like schoolwork. Treat it as homework. You didn't like homework, but sometimes it help you. You know what I'm
She's a
saying?
That's right. I'm
She's
the
a teacher.
teacher now.
It's for
but,
the greater good.
but I get it. I do get it. You know, sometimes you don't want to, but it's part of the experience,
Yeah.
and it can all be something you learn from. So
Facts.
you
Yeah,
know.
you never know. You never know. So it's just kind of just do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. It ain't gonna kill you, especially if it's something that you want to do. It's just a little bit different. Just do it. You know.
You might be tired. You might hate it, but
I agree. And I say that in my work. Like we also own a marketing company as well. And there's clients that we take on that sometimes we don't want to work in that field, but we just know that if we do that, that'll get us closer to being able to afford to work with the clients that we do want to work
Right,
with. And
right.
niche down to like, if you just want to do this or you just want to do murals, like
Yeah.
everybody wants to work on these great murals all the time, but they only come up every once in a while.
Right.
You got to do the shoes. You got to do everything else. So
I didn't even see myself doing murals. Like I was intimidated just because murals are so big.
Huge.
And I was just like, man, I never like see myself doing something crazy like on a building.
Right.
Man. Next thing I know, I'm doing murals.
Yeah.
And it's just her. And I'm like, all right, when we going to do a building?
what's
I'm
the
trying to do a
process
building.
of making a mural like? Like you just freehand it? You have an idea, you just do it, or you
Yeah.
kind of map it out? Like what's
With
that
my
like?
work, it's all freehand. Like I don't like doing perfect stuff because that's just not me. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to people who can do that because that's crazy too.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of sketch something out, get like an idea because if it's like, you know, it's not my building. Sometimes people just be like, I want to kind of see what you got in mind. So I'll do like a loose little sketch, just like I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Loose little sketch, get my ideas down, and then they okay it, take the paint, and we just go at it. Go at the wall. Like I don't prep the wall. I mean, not like I don't prep the wall, but just no sketching on the wall. I go
just
straight.
happens.
Yeah, straight
into
paint.
it. And it changes over time. Like sometimes your idea gets like, oh, that's not going to work. And we
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
completely
Or I
pivot.
should do this line a little bit like that, or this
Right.
color a little different. Yeah, kind of just build itself as it go. All the artwork create itself.
You have like a specific style, like your billboard that you had over there. that one that you did over the windows during the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Like you have like that shapes and stuff like that. Like what would you describe your style? Is it inspired by somebody? Is it something that you like? Like tell me about your style of art.
My style of art is vivid, it's bold, it's expressive. So it's I feel like it's my guts out inside the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like this is my spirit. This is how I look on the inside, like colorful. You know what I'm saying? The brush strokes, like
that's beautiful.
That's me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like that's me. So and it's inspired by everything that I've grew up watching, listening to, people that taught me things along the way, my culture, being black in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? That's what my art is. You know, and it's I could explain it all day, but for the most part, it's me.
And it's a feeling. It's a feeling inside you. So it's hard to put it into words. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's all your work. It's vibrant.
And we know it is.
You look at it, you feel happy. I mean, it doesn't even matter what, if it's a shoe, if it's, we have some of your work in our house. It just, you look at it and you're like, the colors, it's a good feeling.
And it's like you said, it's vibrant and it's bold. And, like I got, the STL, the 314, so I like the stuff you do for St. Louis. But obviously Brock Seals wants to be bigger than St. Louis, just like anybody as an artist and stuff like that. So like if you had a dream project, a dream collab with another artist, like what would that look like? Would it be a mural? Would it be a specific artist? Would it be a specific city? Tell me about your dream project or dream collab.
That's two questions. So
dream project, dream collab.
Dream collab and dream project. Go.
Okay, dream project. Paint the St. Louis Arch.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. And it's going to happen too.
Gateway Arch. We'll tag them in the comments. We'll tag them in the comments. We'll make that happen.
Not the mini Shakespeare one, right?
The big one. The steel joint. Yeah.
Okay.
So tell all the followers, 40,000, tag St. Louis Arch. Let them know. We trying to do something. You got it. We can wash it off or however y'all want to do it. Trying to paint St. Louis Arch.
The play paint. Like
yeah, something. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Dream collab. Like an artist dead or alive or alive or...
Both. Why not?
Let's do both. Or one or the other, whatever.
Alive, gotta collab with Kanye.
Ooh.
Gotta collab with Ye.
Kanye.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just somebody who inspired me, you know what I'm saying, to be an artist, to just think outside the box. Right. You know what I'm saying? When I was young, you know what I'm saying, he was like real passionate. He still is passionate.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying, just like back when I was like in high school and being young, he was just the type that didn't fit in, but he stood out. You know what I'm saying? And
people always want to. His
mindset is crazy. His mindset is next level.
Yeah,
it's insane. I love Kanye.
Definitely. Now, artists dead. Man, that's so deep. There's so many. Like,
bring them back.
Because you could go all the way back to like crazy artists, or you could just do modern day, like people that might have just passed away. Like I'm thinking like Virgil would be crazy.
Yeah, Virgil
would be crazy.
Virgil
I could see.
sick.
I could have seen you working with him eventually too. So.
Yeah, Virgil would have been sick. He's seen some of my artwork before.
Has he?
Yeah.
Really?
It was let me see, like 2014, 2015 or something like that. This one Kanye was doing Yeezus. So me and my homies went to Chicago to see the show. And before that, he had like a little pop-up shop.
Right.
And like I think Don C had like took a picture of where they was doing a pop-up shop at. And at this time, I was living in Chicago, so I knew exactly where that building was. I'm like, hey, we outside. Right. It's cold, it's snowing. We trucked all the way down to the spot. Woo. Nobody was there. It's just me and two of my other homies. And I had like some little artwork. I had painted these little 8x8 wood pieces. And it was like some of my first pieces of artwork that I was making. And I like set them in front of the building. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, people pull up in a little car or like a van or something. I don't remember what it was. But it's Don C hop out, Virgil hop out, and some other people, and they like going into the pop-up shop, and like he just said what's up, but he seen the artwork, so you know,
hey, he's seen it.
He's seen it. He was looking for
and that's the goal, man, to be seen. So.
Little joys in life, right?
Yeah, facts. So I guess we can say Virgil.
That would be crazy, man. Like Virgil Off-White collab with Brock Seals. Oh my goodness,
peace, Virgil.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that would be crazy. But yeah, Kanye would be sick, or designing a set for him, because I know you did like Smino's set, like stuff like that, like designing a set, like something like
anything.
that.
I mean, music or just something, ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's so that kind of leads into my next question. So like we talk about people like famous like that, like you worked with Harrison Bader. I seen you did the cleats with Denzel Ward, Cleveland Browns, which were sick. Who is the most? I know this is kind of a weird question, but like the most famous person you've done work for, or maybe even like worked with, like kind of like both. So like whether it be the shoes or
Yeah. Who is the most famous?
yeah,
Or well known.
Or well known.
Well known.
well known.
If you said it,
Yeah.
Because like some people are locally famous. Denzel
Yeah.
Ward's pretty well known, but
Yeah.
you know, in football,
I do a
in the
lot of
football
stuff
world.
with Smino.
Smino's pretty big. Yeah, St. Louis.
Yeah,
and he's
I
huge.
did a painting and I got a picture with Nipsey.
Yeah,
So that was crazy.
wow.
Yeah, he had did a show here, and one of my buddies worked like on his team, so he let me know like, hey, bro, gonna be in town for the show. If you've got anything, you know, what I'm saying you wanna try to get to him or something like that, we can make it happen.
Right.
I'm like, I bet. At that time, I ain't had no pain to Nipsey, but I fucked with Nipsey, like, you know, what I'm saying I love his music.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I bet it's nothing. Let me go ahead and whip up something. I
Right.
did a nice little 16 by 20. And I had already had some other little paintings that kind of related to his, you know what I'm saying, his message and stuff like that. So pulled up to the hotel. It was like a little steak restaurant downtown. I think like Ruth Chris.
Yeah, I was
The
going to say
Hilton.
Carmine's
It's
or
the
Ruth
Hilton.
Chris.
Yeah.
or
Right
one of
underneath the
two.
Hilton. Yep, right by the arch.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So we up in there, sat down at the table with him, showed him the artwork, and dude was just mad humble, mad like just welcoming, inviting. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't met some other celebrities, and it ain't always that same vibe. You know what I'm saying? So for him to just be open, and he's like, yeah, I actually collect art, I love art. You know, so I'm put this in the crib.
Hell
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this. He gave us tickets to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like
wow,
he was just a super down to earth guy.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like a million
Personable.
people around him. It was everything that people say about him. You know what I'm saying? We heard all the good stuff about him after he passed. Unfortunately, you know, that was true to who he was.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when I met him, you know.
He's a leader too, a leader
Facts.
leader of men, and that's like another thing, man. So that's like just being in business, being in art, being in that is like being able to lead and being able to be a trendsetter. And I feel like you're a trendsetter with art when it comes to the sneakers. Obviously, everybody's seen sneakers done, but how did you start out? Did you start out on sneakers? I know you've done jackets. I know you've done clothing.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you seen yourself doing was fashion, or was it just trying to break in?
Before I started painting, I was into fashion. So me and my homies had a clothing line. High school, it was called Hello Tomorrow. We was selling all T-shirts and all the high schools, you know what I'm saying, selling it out the trunk. But we did that, and I went to school to study fashion. Came back to St. Louis, and I couldn't find a fashion program. So I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I went to Flow Valley, and I'm like, art seemed like the next coolest thing to do because I was not trying to get into no math, teaching, no disrespect.
Hey, I'm with you on the math. I'll give
I wasn't
you
trying
that.
to do none of that because it wasn't feeding my soul. So I'm like, art seemed like
yeah.
a cool thing to do. I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know how to paint.
Well, and you were already a creative, so
Yeah, I had the mind.
Right.
I just didn't know how to work the tools. So I started painting on canvas. And once I started doing the canvas work and stuff like that, I immediately was like, once I get this down pack, I'm gonna put it to the clothes, whether I'm painting shirts or whatever. But the first pair of shoes I did was some Timberland boots. It was for an art show called Vibes. Vibes is actually coming up, so
Okay.
make sure
Check
y'all
it out.
buy
Yeah.
y'all tickets soon. But I was displaying some of my canvas pieces, and I didn't buy no outfit. So I'm like, damn, I need to you know what I'm saying?
Always got to show out.
I had to do
always.
my own thing, and I had bought this little acrylic shoe paint that I use now, but I had never used it. So I'm like, all right, it's time to use it now. So I painted my Timbs up, painted my little T-shirt, and I rocked it to the show, and shit, I've been painting shoes ever since.
Wow.
It's been up.
Yeah, the Dior ones were fire that you've seen, and just the customs, you know, like you
Yeah.
said, just being able to put anybody's vision to shoes and stuff
Facts,
like that. So
facts.
I like those drops that you do, like those exclusive drops and
Yeah.
the passion.
Speaking of
those
drops,
That's the way to do it.
Speaking of drops,
Look at
Speaking of
these
drop-
beauties.
yeah, this
Beauties
is
on the
so the
People.
pod's gonna actually drop after that, but we'll cut the clip up if you want to say something about the shoes. So if you wanna talk to me
This
about
is
the shoes.
Yeah.
the Trope de Love collection, which is French for too much love. So I just got inspired, you know what I'm saying, with the colorway. I want to do something like super crazy for Valentine's Day, something that kind of spoke to me. Because I always see Nike, they always do their Valentine's Day shoe. I'm like, I'm going to make something crazier than what they do. Like, I'm going to go crazier. So this is the mid top. I'm going to have a low top, and I'm going to have a Timberland boot as well.
Okay.
I'm going to have some merchandise, like some sweatshirts, hoodies, something like that. So, yeah, I just have to go crazy.
love 'em.
I'm in love with this colorway, this pattern
I
right
love it.
now.
Yeah,
like,
these colors are gorgeous. I
Yeah.
just love it.
Vibe. You
yeah.
would wear those.
Oh, I would. Are you kidding? I'd wear these to school. My kids are like, Miss Thomas.
Hey, them kids are trying to take them off your feet.
Put them on a Brock. Yep.
Yeah.
Put them on a Brock. Let them know where to get some shoes.
So you were talking about college, and she went to Hussle, graduated there. We opened the mail one day, and like we get a magazine cover with your face on it.
Hey,
and I was like,
look at
that's hard.
She kept it. Yeah,
that's hard. That's hard.
So that kind of goes with biggest accomplishments. I mean, like, is being recognized by the school. Like, what would you say your biggest accomplishment is in your passion, like art or even music too?
Making my mama proud.
Okay.
Right.
Making her proud because, you know what I'm saying, she always want the best for me. So when I first started doing art, she really didn't understand what it was doing, or she didn't see what I seen or how successful you can be. Mm-hmm. So once I was able to show her, I felt so good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, all right, now let's show the world, But, yeah.
Making your mama proud. Hey, ain't nothing better than that. I love that. Out of all the accomplishments, it's mama. So I get that.
Facts. Shouts out to the Cardinals and all that, and but
well, of course. But like we said, we were talking about support systems, and mom's first, right?
Yeah,
always. You got to have that good support system. That makes everything else worthwhile.
Yeah, and it makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? Because
yes, it does.
It's so much that goes behind. You know what I'm saying? The art, you got a business side of it. So you need people to support you mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people these days are focused on their physical health, but your mental health is just as important. So, having good people around you help balance you out. So I can see that with y'all. Like, y'all balance each other out. So, that's important.
Yeah,
I need it.
Fact.
I need it. We all, and that's just, you need someone to bring you down a little bit.
Every strong person has another strong person that's holding them up behind the scenes, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of people. But you got to go home to something, whether it be friends or family. So that's huge, like you said, support system, and then just being loyal to your people. But you mentioned something about business and mental health, and I talk to her about this all the time. It's like I've never had anxiety, but I have this crazy anxiety over business every time I wake up because I work completely for myself and my business. So I'm like, what happens if this happens? This happens. Like, what if I fail? I have team members that I pay. I have her that we support our we're gonna get married, and like it's all on my business.
Right.
Obviously, she works as well, but like that, all my income is my business. So tell me if you feel that like in business, do you ever have that thing? Is like maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe is it like maybe I'm just an artist and I can't do both. I need to work under somebody.
Nah. I be having to like in my head, I be hearing like different things. You get those voices or those, maybe you shouldn't do this, but you can't like, just because you hear it don't mean that's you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that you got to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? You got to go with what's inside your heart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you know that's what you're doing, keep doing it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Our path is already created for us. You know what I'm saying? If you do fail, it's a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Right. But everything else that happens, it's supposed to happen. You wouldn't have got this far just to turn around. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just know when you wake up and you're doing your thing, this is what you're supposed to be doing. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Do what's inside your heart. Because if not, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Worrying crazy. Like, bro, just.
It's the process. Like
it's the process.
You say to trust the process. And you mentioned Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
And like they trusted the process and they started local and they stayed local, and stuff like that. It's a marathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Like I've been at it. You've been at it for 10 plus years,
Yeah.
I've been at it for 3+ years, but I feel like, I should already have it now. But it's like you said, like talking to you makes me feel better. Like, okay, I'm 26 in 2 years. Like hopefully I'll be 10 years further. So,
man, you made so much happen. Well, y'all made so much happen within this short amount of time. Right. So, it's obviously you're doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It only can get better.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm not trying to take it to a negative term, but when you're rising up, you guys have so much attention and like so much focus on you. Mm-hmm. What about haters, and how do you handle that? Do you see that?
Does Brock Seals have haters?
Do you even have haters? Because who's hating on Brock?
Call them out.
I mean, it's so easy.
They don't deserve
no
recognition.
It's so easy. That's right. For people, I feel like, to see greatness, and for some reason, want to tear that down, and it just happens. I don't know. It just happens, and in comments, I don't know. Just I'm curious. How do you handle that? Do you even get that? How do we?
I erase it.
Stay above it.
Like if somebody hating on me, man, I erase it. Get that out of here.
For what? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't feed off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't what I put out. Right. I'm not the one that's like you know what I'm saying, shitting on people so they can get mad and get the hating on me. I'm doing this stuff out of love. Yeah. I'm uplifting my people. I'm giving back to the youth, to my community. That's what I'm worried about.
Yep.
Right.
If somebody else that don't agree or align with that, then they must not like what they doing themselves. That's a personal problem.
That's always what it comes down to.
Yeah, they ain't got no problem with me. That's a personal problem. So I understand that.
They get intimidated by it.
Yeah,
they get intimidated by success.
It ain't nothing personal. So go ahead and do your thing. It ain't gonna stop nothing that we got over here.
Rise above and keep it moving.
Good. You're doing something right when people are noticing you, and a lot of times it's an intimidating thing. Is like people get intimidated by people that are ambitious. Like, why are you so ambitious? Why don't you settle for Brock? Like you graduated school, like go work at a job, do 9 to 5, and it's like you're too creative to do a 9 to 5. Like you'd be in there drawing, you'd get fired. They'd be like, Brock, why are you sitting here drawing all day, man? You're supposed to be filing taxes and shit.
Yeah, yeah, just
So going to that, this was one of the questions that I was really interested to ask you. So art, music, if that wasn't you, what would Brock be doing? What is something else when you were growing up? Was it like a certain job? Like I know everybody wanted to be a firefighter, astronaut, but like something like legit, like where you were thinking in college, like I might have to do this instead of art.
I used to want to work for the circus.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm lying.
Hey, tell us about that. That's different.
No, man. I used to like sports. You know what I'm saying? I played baseball. I played basketball. But I've been like into like fashion, like dressing, throwing on clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always been like my thing. And I kind of like realized that when I got older. You know what I'm saying? But that's a hard question. If I wasn't painting, what I would be doing?
Right.
I'd be lost. That's
what
what
I'm saying.
be.
It's hard. Like, you know, everybody has a backup plan, but I feel like when you have a backup plan, that gives you resistance on getting your goal. Like, I could always fall back to going to work at my dad's company or what, you know, like people say that like, I always got that in my back pocket, but that means you're not working towards your goal.
Yeah. I got rid of backup plans like middle school, high school.
That's good.
Because they was always teaching us like, have a backup plan.
They're teaching failure. They're teaching to settle. They're teaching you to settle.
Yeah. But I mean, because everybody different. Everybody, some people need a backup plan because they gon' finish line right here, they gonna stop right there. So you know what I'm saying? That backup plan gonna be there for them. But for the people who not gonna stop, they don't need no backup plan.
Just like you were saying earlier, if you're gonna do it, you go all the way. Like some people stop or you go all the way.
Exactly.
So if you know if you have the drive to go all the way, you're gonna do that. Backup plan.
End of the day,
don't need it.
I love that plan. I love that. No backup plans, all 22. All gas, no brakes, all 22.
That's right.
Rest of your life.
Yeah, rest of the life, man. So St. Louis, let's talk about St. Louis. So there's artists like crazy in St. Louis. We're such a underappreciated artist town. There's so many creative people, whether it's photography, paint, graffiti, food,
all of it.
Artists when it comes to food. So who is like one person, and you can name multiple, like who is somebody you look at in St. Louis and you're like, they inspire me or they made me? Is there somebody in your journey that like got you ahead of where you were wanting to go, or somebody that you look at their work and every time you see it, you're like, damn, that inspires me to go do the same thing?
Kababi.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like when I was like learning how to paint, when I was early in college, like I always see his work and I'd be like, man. And I mean, I'm still like that. I'd be like, man, I drive, you know what I'm saying, through my neighborhood and I'd be seeing stuff he got up in Wellston. I'd be like, damn, bro, like that's hard. Right. You know what I'm saying? And his journey, you know what I'm saying, of him working with like Prince and stuff like that is like, it's just amazing to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? He from St. Louis, he's in St. Louis. And it's not that many artists, black artists at that, you know what I'm saying, who are making moves like him, you know what I'm saying, in the city and around the city. So that's kind of like, that's like how a kid look up to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was looking at him.
He was your Mike?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm still looking up to him because he ain't stopping.
Yeah.
Have you worked with him yet?
Have we? We've been in the show together. Yeah, we did some shows together. Not like no collab, but that's coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's gonna come.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah, like him and shit, every other black artist that's, you know what I'm saying, painting in St. Louis, because we all, you know what I'm saying, got similar stories. We share the same background. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm inspired by you if you can able to, you know what I'm saying, take your history, your culture, you know what I'm saying, your upbringing and express it into an art form. I'm inspired by that. So, yeah. I love that. And check the people I follow. Like, I'm inspired by them.
Okay. Yeah. And that's important in curating the following feed. And that's something that is so important, is what you see is what you become. So curating your feed to find stuff that inspires you, not stuff that distracts you. So like you
100%.
said, your feed, if I go to your followers right now and I wanted to find other Black artists, I'm going to find them in your followers because that's who you're following.
Yeah.
And that's who you're getting. And everybody inspires. Everybody inspires, whether they're just started or you can learn something from a 19-year-old kid that's coming up that's doing stuff you're like, whoa, that's different. Yep. And you learn something from. Same way you could learn it from somebody in their 50s that have been doing it for a while and they used to do crazy stuff. You're like, wait, you did that? You tagged that building? Like stuff that you don't even know that they can't even talk about.
Exactly. It'd be like that, but it's just being open to everybody. Everybody's voice is different. Everybody got a story. So just being humble enough to listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I've learned. Just be humble and listen.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, I love that. I'm gonna put that on my chalkboard. Like, be open,
be humble, and listen.
Be humble. I mean, really, that's what I always say. Like, and it, you know, especially when you're popping off, you're built. You know, everyone is paying attention to you. You have to be humble. You know, I think that shows a lot. So just be thankful and give back to your community, and that's what I say.
So, what's Brock Seal's ideal St. Louis day? We're an STL Bucket List show. We're an STL Bucket List podcast.
Okay.
So take us through. You're off work today. You ain't got shit to paint.
It's
you ain't got shit to do today. It's Friday.
Okay, Friday.
Yeah. Start off. What's an ideal day in St. Louis? Take me around St. Louis, Wellston,
or you
downtown,
got family
wherever.
coming in town. Where are you going to take them? What are the spots?
Or new people. Yeah, new people coming.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Because I done did this a few times.
Yeah.
So somebody come in. Definitely while we riding around, I'm going to take them through Jennings. I'm going to take them Natural Bridge, Kings Highway, because that's like Times Square for me.
Stomping grounds.
Yeah, like go there at night, see the lights from all the restaurants and fast food spots. That's like, I love that. Show them that, you know what I'm saying? Take them to a Chinese food spot, definitely. I might take them to Kings. I might take them to Oriental. I might take them to Canton. I might take them to Hunan.
Kings,
you know what I'm saying? It's
Kings. I'm telling
There's so many other spots, like for real. Like
her dad drives.
My dad will drive all the way
He lives
from
on St. Peter's
Charles.
now.
Yeah,
He lives down
to go
to North
Kings.
City.
Oh yeah.
He hip. He know what's
He'll
up
text
there.
me. You want some? I'm like, yep, hook it
He'll
up.
drive 45 minutes to get that.
Bring some to me while
and
you're
it'll
at
still
it.
be hot when he get home.
I'm telling you.
Facts.
That's
Yeah,
so true.
Take them, show them some of my artwork. You know what I'm saying? People be wanting to see the arch, but I be like, you know what I'm saying? I be forgetting that the arch is here. We so like,
we're used to it.
we're used to seeing it, but people, they see the arch,
And
they
it's
be
crazy
like,
cool for them.
wow,
It's crazy cool for them.
Yeah, they love the arch. I mean, I just take them all around St. Louis because it's beautiful. I take them to the slums, take them to the north side, the west side, the south side. You know, it's so many different like little pockets, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of see the city. And I, like when some of my homies, like I bring like different artists here when I'm doing like an art show, somebody from out of town, I show them that and I just tell them about the different neighborhoods, how St. Louis is segregated, how, you know, so I just give it to them real, like, you know what I'm saying, because it's a hood everywhere, you know what I'm saying, so I just give them the full scope of St. Louis and how things are like this way, you know what I'm saying. Like what places would I go?
Like like date night? Like you're going out for a date night, like something good happened. Like you just did the collab with the Cardinals. You threw out the first pitch. I'm sure you guys did something nice that night.
What did we do? Let me see.
Or like a place to get drinks. Where?
Yeah.
Like our
don't say Kings. Don't. No, I'm just saying.
Hey, I'd be happy with that. If
Pull
you
up
took
the
me to
Kings
I
and
would
take a
not even
drink.
be mad. I'm like, that's a date night. Like we like Yellow Belly. Like that's our, like we just went there.
Like cocktail
I ain't never
bars.
been there.
Yeah.
I seen it before.
So good. You gotta go to Yellow Belly when you can.
What's one of my little spots?
Yeah.
I like El Burro Loco.
Okay.
I've been going there lately.
West End or downtown?
West End.
Okay.
I go there. I feel like
Colors pop there.
Yeah.
Vibrant.
I feel like I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Man, where do I go? I like to go skating sometimes. Where else do I be going, bro? Like
roller skating.
I was gonna
skateboard,
say,
or
wait, what kind of skating?
like skating rink, like
ice skating.
Skate King.
Oh,
Okay.
Like roll bounce.
My
Roll
gosh,
bounce.
I
Oh,
haven't been
damn.
to
Yeah.
skating,
Yeah.
roller skating, and so
Yeah, like roller
shit.
skating. Yeah, I need to do that.
I mean,
Yeah, we
probably
need to-
since I was like 9.
But that's
years
like
old.
dancing, like music, loud.
Yeah,
Adult
yeah.
night.
That
It's
would
not
be
like
so
kids' night.
fun.
It's adult night at the skate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skating is cool. I know we got the Ice Queen right here.
I know. Look
She,
at her.
she is crazy on the skates.
I'm like,
man.
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying ice skating. I'm like, you out there
I
spinning
know.
and shit?
That's
Nah.
what I'm picturing. I'm like, okay.
I need to take some lessons. I be falling out there. But you know, we got some dope art museums. You know what I'm saying? Forest Park is dope. Downtown Downtown is dope, you know.
Right.
Look at how much he loves his city. He just named every spot that
Just
he
named
could.
I like
I just named the whole
all
St.
of
Louis.
it.
Like,
All of it.
No, I like that because you
love
incorporate
STL.
all of it. And like you said, you're from North City. We live in South City. It's completely different worlds. Even though it's like we live on Kings Highway. We live on South Kings Highway.
Yeah,
it's
North
a completely
Kings Highway
different
is
world.
different.
3 miles.
It's different.
Once you pass the Central West End, it's a different world.
Just
So people
jump
don't
over.
see that. And when I used to drive through there, I was like, you realize it's like a thing of gratitude. It's like why like people are so grateful. And it's like I was reading a book the other day and it said there's 7 billion people in the world. 3 billion people don't even have roof, water, and clean showers. So you're better off than 3 billion. You're already 50% better than everybody else.
Wow.
So what else do you have that other people don't have? You have a job and a career that you're passionate about.
Right.
I would say that 6.99 billion people don't have that. So
blessed.
it's huge, man. And yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on, man. And you know, that's really all we had, man. You killed all this
This
stuff
was
that we
fun.
prepared.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I like this, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate
I
it. That's a
can't
tough
even
word
say
to
it.
say. I feel you.
Appreciative.
Appreciate you.
So to leave it off, man, tell
appreciate
people
ya.
where to find you. What's your IG? What's your website? Where
Yeah.
can they find? Where can they buy? Where can we go support Brock Seals at?
Yes.
Oh,
Right now, like how much? No,
DM
I
me.
want these sneakers
Hey,
right now.
shoot me a DM on Instagram, Seals Brock. I got a website, brockseals.com. But I love, you know what I'm saying, being one-on-one with anybody who want to purchase something from me. You know what I'm saying? I want to know who you are. I want to see you. You know what I'm saying? You got to meet up with me eventually. So get at me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Email,
yeah.
Facebook.
We'll get it, man. Facebook,
TikTok.
We're out here, bro.
TikTok
It's
in the
social-
works.
Social media
TikTok,
world, man.
Twitter.
But I like the personal feel because I bought things from you and you wrote notes and like I got your baseball card. Like we bought like several little things, like nothing big yet because we don't have our big like house that we want yet. And then we're gonna like
Big
have
house.
pieces.
We got
Not big.
Yeah,
whole
big house.
gallery wall. Whole gallery
Yeah,
wall.
so like we bought stuff and like the personal feel is different. Like I would rather spend $20 with you than $10 with Target. So it's like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
different. Not even
100%.
nothing against Target. I love Target.
Ain't
but-
nothing in Target, $10.
Yeah, they have the $10
Shoot,
section.
This box. This box.
No. Come from Target.
Oh, well.
No, but man, I appreciate it, man, and thanks for coming on. And we're gonna
Appreciate
continue
it.
to grow this thing, and we're gonna put on for St. Louis.
Facts,
So,
facts.
all right, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
This episode was recorded at Half Coast Studios. If you like the way it sounded or like the way it looked, and you have your own podcast or just want to start your own, Google Half Coast Studios.